Morning, Year 2. It is Thursday, the 11th of February, and we are here for something a little bit different today because we've got to the end of our comprehension book now, haven't we? We've got a new one either at your house ready or waiting to be delivered to you to start after half term. So, what we are going to do today, instead of some comprehension, is a little bit of writing. Now, we have done some writing because quite a lot of our challenges at the end of our comprehension session have been writing. Some of you have been doing a really, really super job with those. I want to say a big well done to Zoe because I've been very impressed with your challenges and your bits that you have been doing. And also for comprehension, I want to say a special well done to Ava G and to Kyle because I was really impressed with your answers yesterday to our questions in the monkey poem. So well done to those. So we are going to do some writing today. So you will need either your whiteboard and your pen like we use for phonics, or you can use some paper that you've got at home with a pencil. If you have had your workbooks already delivered for after half term and in them you have a red book, you can start in that today, but you don't have to. So it might be quite nice to save that and we'll start it after half term. If you would like to write in that today and you've got it at home already, that's absolutely fine. But if you haven't, don't worry, a whiteboard and pen, paper and a pencil is just fine, okay? So don't worry, as long as you've got something to write on. So let's have a look at our learning question for today then. It says, can I improve sentences by choosing adventurous vocabulary? So what we're thinking today is thinking about the words that we are choosing in the sentences that we are writing and making sure they are adventurous, making sure they are interesting and exciting and not boring. Okay, so we're going to have some sentences today and we are going to improve them. We are going to improve them by adding in some extra words to make it more interesting or by changing some extra words to make it more exciting, more interesting, and to add some more detail for the reader. Okay, so it's all about our vocabulary today. And the vocabulary we're going to be thinking about in our sentences is nouns, verbs, and adjectives. Now, we thought about adjectives quite a bit in comprehension, especially in our selfish giant comprehension session. That was a lot about adjectives in there. So I know you've done a super job at that. My phonics group this week, we've been thinking a lot about verbs. So we're going to have a quick recap of what we mean by these word types first. We're going to come up with some examples of them, and then we're going to see how that links into the sentences that we're going to be improving today. Okay, so nouns then. Nouns, when we say a noun, we mean a person, a place, or a thing, an object. Okay, so in our picture here to help us, we've got a picture of a boy. Boy is a noun. We've got a butterfly. That is a noun. We've got a tree. That is a noun. In front of me, I can see a table. That is also a noun. Anything like that will be a noun. A person, a place, or a thing. And we have talked a little bit about proper nouns as well, which need capital letters. So the names of certain people or places or sometimes things might need to start with a capital letter because they are what we call proper nouns. Just like England is the name of a place, name of a country, it would need a capital letter. Okay. What I would like you to do on your whiteboard, first of all, or on your paper, whatever you're using to write on today, is to write nouns in the middle. And we're going to make a little bit of like a spider diagram. So we're going to have nouns in the middle, and we're going to write some examples of some nouns coming around the edge. Now, I would like you to think of at least 5 nouns and write them down on your board or your paper. But I would love to see if you could do at least or up to 10. So 10 is our challenge, but at least 5. Okay, so the ones we've already thought about, I'll just write you a couple of examples. So you might want to draw a line and have a little write. So the ones we've already thought about had boy, we had tree. I said I could see a table. Right? See a table. So I would like you to see if you can come up with at least 5 or maybe up to 10 nouns. It might be that you want to have a look around the room that you're in and see what nouns you can come up with. You might want to have a little look around your house and see what nouns you might be able to come up with, and get your grown up to send a picture of it so I can see which ones you came up with and that you have a really good understanding of nouns, because that's going to help us in our sentences today. Okay, the next one then we've talked about quite a little bit before are adjectives. So if we know we've got a noun like boy, an adjective describes the noun. So it's a describing word, and it can describe what the noun looks like, what it smells like, sounds like, feels like, or tastes like. Okay, so there's lots of ways you can use adjectives to describe things in lots and lots of different ways. Okay, we have thought about adjectives lots. I know we wrote some adjectives down at the start of one of our other sessions. So what I would like you to do is use this picture today, and I would like you to write down some adjectives that might describe the nouns in this picture. So let's have a think. So if you can tell you're grown up, first of all, what nouns are in this picture? We've just talked about nouns. What objects or things or people can you come up with? Okay, so we've got trees, we've got the sand, we've got a girl and a boy, we've got the sea, we've got clouds, we've got the sky, we've got shells, lots and lots of things. So again, I would like to see if you can come up with at least 5 or up to 10 adjectives that describe the nouns in these pictures. So I might start. Now, you won't have the picture at home. You can just write them down on your board, but I'm going to write them around my picture, I think, to show. So I'm going to say that the sand, now remember, it can be what it feels like, it can be what it looks like. So I'm going to say the sand is golden. And I'm going to try to do 2 adjectives for my nouns, because we do like to use 2A sentences, don't we? So I'm going to say the sand is golden, and I'm going to say the sand is hot. So golden is what it looks like, and hot is what it would feel like. So I've chosen the sand, and I'm also going to choose the palm tree, and I'm going to say that the palm tree is tall. And I'm going to say it is, let's have a think, tall and leafy. I think I'm going to go with tall and leafy. So you have a go, see if you can come up with some nouns, some adjectives that describe the nouns in this picture. And again, I would love to see a photo of which ones you've come up with. And remember, we're thinking about adventurous ones today, so we want to try to come up with some words, some adjectives that are exciting and interesting. Okay, last one then we've got is verbs. So adjectives describe the nouns. Verbs describe what the noun is doing. So they are action words. They think about what the noun is doing. So the dog is the noun, the thing. The dog can sleep. That's a verb to describe what the dog does. Or the dog can sit. Okay, so thinking about those verbs. Verbs are actions, they're things that you can do. I bet you've done a lot of actions already this morning. So again, I would like to see if you could write a few examples down. So we've already had sleep, we've already had sit. Let's have a little think. One of our tricky words that we have been doing lots of is work. Work is a verb, isn't it? You can work, you can, let's see, you could sing, couldn't you? We've been thinking about the masked singer, haven't we? So sing might be a verb. See if you can come up with, again, at least 5. And I would love to see which ones you come up with. I'd love to see maybe some creative or adventurous ones. Maybe you want to stand up and have a little move and see what actions you come up with. Right, bit of a challenge then before we start writing and improving our sentences. I want to see now if you really understand what we mean by nouns and adjectives and verbs. So on the next slide, I'm going to show you some words, and you have got to sort them by whether you think they are nouns, adjectives or verbs. So you need 3 columns on your board or whatever you're writing on today. You can write the full word out if you like, but to make it a little bit simpler, you might want to just put an N for nouns, an A for adjectives, and a V for verbs. So it's up to you. You can write the full word or not. Okay? So give the video a pause, make sure you've done that. And then on the next slide, I'm going to show you the words that I would like you to sort. And I think one of them we have already thought about. We have got chair, pink, cry, house, cute, sleep, eat, long, swim, slide, sad, and hair. Okay, so one of them we have already had. There is one that I think you could possibly have in 2 different columns. So we'll see which one you go for. Okay, so give the video a pause now. Can you sort those words into the 3 sections on your board? Are they nouns? Do they describe what things look like? Are they actions? Are they an object? Have a think. Off you go. Okay, hopefully you've done that now. So I had got then the nouns. Now I said I could have chair and house, slide and hair. Those are all nouns. There's one of those that I think could be a different one as well. We'll come on to that in a minute. And the blue ones I've gone for are the adjectives. So pink, describe what something looks like. So does cute. Long also can. Sad describes someone's feelings, doesn't it? You might describe a person as being sad. You might describe someone's hair as being long. A puppy might be cute. You can think of lots of things, I bet, that you might describe as being pink. So then our verbs, we'd already had sleep. Eat is a verb, it's an action. So is cry, so is swim. Well, then I also thought, you might have thought that slide could be an action because you might slide down the bank. So slide could be a noun, the thing that you sit on to slide, or slide could also be an action, a verb that you do, can't it, as well? Right, we've got our first sentence then that we are going to improve. It is the cat sat on the mat. It is a very boring sentence and we are going to improve it. Now, which nouns do we have in our sentence? There are 2. Which nouns are in our sentence? Tell you're grown up. Cat is a noun and so is mat. Those are the things, the objects in our sentence. And sat is the verb. Now, I know that we can come up with a much more adventurous, exciting verb than sat. We don't want sat. We're going to change it. And it's got no adjectives in. So we are going to add some adjectives in to describe our nouns. And we are going to see if we can use 2 adjectives in our sentence. Can we remember what this is called? It's a comma, isn't it? So in between our 2 adjectives, we're going to try to remember to use a comma. So have a pause and chat with your grown-up. What adjectives might you come up with to describe the cat? What adjectives could you come up with to describe the mat? And can you think of something more interesting or adventurous than sat? Okay, you have a think. I'm going to have a go at writing my idea. So I'm still going to keep the, but before my noun, I'm going to add 2 adjectives. And I'm going to say the ginger, remember my comma, and I'm going to say he is lazy. The ginger, lazy cat. Now, I don't want to have sat. Sat's a bit boring. I think if he's a lazy cat, I think he is going to be stretching. So the lazy ginger cat stretched. I'm not going to put it. What am I going to put? ED. The ginger lazy cat stretched on the... I'm going to describe the mat now. It slept on the cozy, comma, red mat. I've added my adjectives and I have changed my verb. The ginger lazy cat stretched on the cozy red mat. Hey, I would like you to have a go at writing a sentence where you have improved it, seeing if you can think of some different adjectives and verbs to the one I have used. So have a little go. You are going to change the cat sat on the mat. We still need to keep the cat being on the mat, but we're going to add some adjectives in and change the verb. You go. Okay, hopefully you did that one. I can't wait to see what you came up with. This one then, this sentence that is a little bit boring says, the girl went to the shops. Tell your grown-up which are the nouns and which is the verb in my sentence. Which are the nouns and which are the verbs? Okay, well, girl is a noun and shops is a noun, isn't it? And then my action, I've got my colours the other way around, haven't I? The action this time is went. Now, went doesn't tell us anything very exciting at all. And it also doesn't give any kind of meaning to the sentence because we're not, if we were using our inference, it doesn't tell us anything, does it, that sentence? So we're going to see if we could change it. So give the video a little pause. I want you to come up with some ideas. We want some adjectives to describe the girl. We want some adjectives to describe the shops. And then we want to see what we could change went to. So how is the girl going to the shops? Think about how the girl might be feeling. Think about how you might move in different ways and how she might go to the shops. I want you to give it a pause, have a chat about some ideas. I'm going to pop it in a sentence and then I want you to pop your ideas in the sentence after. Okay, so I'm going to go with them. Still starting with the. I'm not going to put girl though straight away because I'm going to put two adjectives. So I'm going to say the small. Let's see. I'm going to think about how she's feeling. The small. I'm going to say she was excited. I'm going to say she was an excited girl. Small, excited girl. Now I'm going to think, well, if she's an excited girl, how might she be moving? So I think if you're excited, she might be rushing. Maybe she's excited to buy something fun from the shop. The small, excited girl rushed. Okay, it's not going to be a T. What am I going to add on? ED. Rushed. The small, excited girl rushed to the... I want to think about what the shops might be like. The shops might be busy. The shops might be crowded. The shops might be, I don't know, fun places to go to. The shops might be large. So the small, excited girl rushed to the... Oh, my B wrong there. Let's start that one again. We don't want to be having our B not formed right, do we? So up to the top, down, the busy, crowded shops. We don't always have to put two adjectives in our sentence. Okay, so sometimes you might just put one adjective in, but we are going to try at some point to put our 2A sentences in with our commas. So I'd like you to have a go at that one. Don't forget, after your sentences, see if you can be getting your grown-up to take a photo of them, or if you're doing them in your book, obviously you can have a photo taken of the whole book at the end. Right, I would like you to have a go at these ones now. So we've had a couple of practices together. I would like you to have a go at this one. This one says, the man walked down the street. We've got our tricky word we talked about in my phonics, walked down the street. So again, think about what kind of man is he? What kind of man? What might the street be like that day? And could we change walked to a more adventurous verb? Maybe to make it more exciting, maybe to give a bit more meaning to that sentence, okay? How is he moving down the street? Think about, is he rushing? Is he going slowly? Is he creeping down the street? Okay, is it nighttime? Is it daytime? Because that might change the meaning of the sentence and the words that you choose. Okay, so you have a go at that one. Pause if you need to. You've got 2 others to have a go at as well if you would like. So the boy went, again we've got went's not a very exciting verb. The boy went across the field. Field. The boy went across the field. What, oh, change my colour, my yellow colour. What's the boy like? What's the field like? And then this one, we've got Sally ate her dinner. Now we can start with a name. We don't always have to have an adjective to describe. We can just start with a name instead of starting with the. So this time, dinner is our noun. Can you maybe describe the dinner? And can you change ate to a more adventurous verb? So the boy went across the field. Sally ate her dinner. Give the video a pause and have a little look at those. Okay. Now, if it is that you have done a super job at using my sentences today and you are still wanting to do a little bit extra, instead of improving my sentences, maybe you could use these pictures and write your own sentences, trying to use 2 adjectives and thinking about the verb. So that's your extra challenge. Remember, the learning question today was to improve the sentences, which hopefully you have done, and we can see a super job. If you are wanting an extra challenge, instead of improving the sentences, you can think about what we've learned so far to write your own adventurous sentences about those pictures. Okay, sure, you're going to have done a super job for our first writing session. We will do another writing session tomorrow as well, so hopefully we are going to really enjoy doing something a little bit different. And then after half term, sometimes we will be doing comprehension and sometimes we will be doing writing. So we're going to add a little bit more writing to our home learning timetable. Okay, so hopefully you'll be able to get on after half term. It'll be a little bit easier because we will all have our red workbooks delivered for you to do your learning in every day, just like in our writing sessions in school. In our literacy sessions, we use our red books and we'll be able to see how super you are doing. Okay, so well done. Hopefully we'll see lots of super sentences today and hopefully some lovely challenges. Well done, year 2. Do a super job.